Hát szép napot kívánok mindenkinek. Itt rohangálunk a sorok között a reptéren. Most fogunk bemenni, vagy becsekolni, nem tudom most melyik része jön. Ez a Drift Mastersnek a második fordulójára fog szólni. Megyünk Svédországba, és megpróbáljuk ott is a legjobb formánkat hozni. Nagyon izgulok, nagyon kíváncsi vagyok, mi lesz. Kemény pálya, tempós lesz, jó pilóták ellen. Nem lesz könnyű dolgunk, de mindenek ellenére tényleg megpróbáljuk a legjobb formánkat hozni. Ma van szerda, este érünk oda, aztán csütörtökön briefing, meg regisztráció, gépátvétel, meg ilyenek, és akkor pénteken lesz 2,5 óra vagy 3,5 óra edzés, onnan kvalifikáció, és akkor onnan megyünk szombaton a versenyre. Azelőtt is lesz pár kör edzés, de nem sok, srácok, izgulok. Már mikor látni fogjátok ezt a videót, már rég lezajlott, de szurkoljatok. Na hát jó reggelt kívánok mindenkinek! Most van a 0. nap, ahol regisztrálunk, gépátvétel, fotózás, meg egyéb ilyenek, kipakoljuk a depót. Most éppen itt vagyunk hugommal, és szia, hello! Várjuk Fatert, úgyhogy közben az itteni monstereket is kóstolgatjuk nagyba. Na már itt vagyunk a pályaszélén, a depóba, vagy a depónál, és már a pilóták nagy része itt van. Van box utca is, de oda nem foglaltunk be, mert nagyon messzi van a gumistól, úgyhogy inkább maradtunk a sátras megoldásnál. Itt egy Volvo, ezzel járkálunk, meg az autó, meg a nagymenő sátor. Most már egyre jobban izgatott vagyok, végigmentem már a pályán, és nagyon szépen köszönöm a csapatnak, hogy ilyen messzire is elhozzák az autót, meg az egész perepüttyöt, nagyon durva. Itt az autó. Szóval, ja. Múltkor volt itt egy crash, de hát az Art Copy hozta a formáját, és full patikára megcsinálta, úgyhogy nem is látszódik. Nagyon szépen köszi. Amúgy itt vannak ők is. Az autón, ha valaki esetleg még nem látta, Wrapped by Art Copy and Skyfall. Ők segítettek abban, hogy a HGK-ra is felkerüljön ugyanaz a design, úgyhogy köszönöm szépen a segítségeteket. Királyok vagytok. Honda S2000-es driftautó. Ilyet se látni gyakran, ott van a pilóta. Szevasz főnök! És ja, muszáj volt megosztom ezt, mert ez elég egy érdekes látvány, nagyon ritka. Átváltottam halszemre, 2 EZ van benne, szekisváltó, hátsó hűtés itt is, és full carbon body kit, szóval eléggé ritkaság, és nekem nagyon bejön, nagyon tetszik. Fú.
Piskolty, the smiliest man in the pits, the man who watched the Drift Masters event. We always talk about it.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago and just said, yeah, I'm going to do that. And everyone else went, Kevin, come on. He's like, no, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to win it. And then
4 years later.
4 years later, here he is, one of the standout drives from Mondello Park again. So he is flying this year. Can he back it up, though? Look at the initiation. Huge risk on entry from Kevin Piskolty as he puts down a big run so far. Perfect on inner zone 2 and outer zone 2. Oh, and he's running out of steam here, but he makes it work. The flames fire out of the car. This is absolutely beautiful from Kevin Piskolty as he fires through the center section. Oh, he's dropping a wheel over there, but not enough to score a 0 as he transitions back to the last corner. Hold it together, Kevin. Stay on the circuit. He does a great job. What a driver.
Yes.
What a run.
What a run indeed. That was sensational from Kevin Piskolty. And you know what? I was just looking at where he's sitting at the championship, 6th at the moment. 6th.
Big claim.
So he's still a contender. For me, look at this initiation though. Absolutely flying. It never handbraked whatsoever. It flicked the car in and let the car do all the work with a grip on the tyres. That first inside zone was sensational as well. Such a nice line, natural arc. He didn't put any steering correction into that. Same here as he come down the hill. All he done was turned on more angle and used a handbrake to position that car where he needed to be.
You know what? As Morpheus once said in The Matrix, he's beginning to believe.
He is
he's starting to begin to believe that
this was the only question point for me, Dave. Was it?
I don't think so.
I don't even like to say it. No, it wasn't. No, and this is why we have the alternative views.
I'm thankful you're wrong on that occasion, because it was a great run. He does drop a wheel here and there. It's going to hurt his score, but overall, Kevin's going to go back to the pits and go, well, I know I can do it. I just got to tidy up here and here, and that's a 90 plus. I don't think this will be. No. But I think it's going to be a decent score on the board, and I think that, you know, he's starting to believe it's an 82, and I mean, he has room to improve there. So the 7th position, Kevin Piskolty is a big contender this year. Well,
Kevin Piskolty, the Hungarian driver, now sits on the line. 82, he is 15th position at the moment. He's comfortable. This is a guy that's just been growing and growing and growing in this championship.
Don't be surprised.
Every round, if he comes out now and throws down a 90-point run.
Don't be surprised if this is the big score. Piskolty fires it. Big, huge angle. That doesn't even make sense through that first corner. But he makes it work and gets the inner zone. This is definitely the most... little wheel drop. Holds it together. There's flames. This thing is going on, but he gets the line. It's almost the most unorthodox, flary run we've seen from anybody today, and he's doing a good job here, Kevin Piskolty. He's doing it all opposite but right at the same time, which doesn't make any sense as he gets that outer zone. Absolutely, that's probably the most, I would say, ludicrous run we've seen today.
That's the wildest run we've seen in qualifying.
There was a lot going on there.
There was a lot. The initiation, look at this.
I don't know how he managed to...
no right to throw that down at that angle.
It's the most angle we've seen anyone throw at that corner all day.
If it wasn't for the wheel drop, I think this could have been what we'd hyped it to been.
It's barely a wheel drop. He does make it work, but way early on the handbrake there.
It made him transition. That was the problem. And then he was out of gear, and you could hear the car on the rev limiter. He had no more wheel speed to go, so he had to handbrake to extend it.
But then he doesn't handbrake there. He just left for brakes.
Left for brakes, yeah.
It's going to be tough in the battles because he's doing things in unusual places that make it actually work, which I'm not sure a chase driver is going to expect or anticipate, which is not a disadvantage, it's an advantage. Yeah. Because he's being braver in areas than other people aren't. I'm looking forward to the battle tomorrow. Kevin Piskolty, I'll tell you what, another 82, so he equals his first score, and to me that is impressive with that error. So it goes to show how much he would have been rewarded if he didn't drop that wheel.
Na, srácok, remélem, hogy hallotok normálisan. Mind a két quali-körömön 82 pontot mentem, az első körön a végét csesztem el, a második körön pedig az elejét, úgyhogy van miből tanulni, meg van mit még fejlődni. Nagyon szépen köszönöm a mai nap folyamán, hogy ennyien szurkoltatok, ennyien írtatok, ennyien néztétek a live-ot, láttam a sztorikat is, stb. Szóval ez eszméletlenül jól esik nekünk, hogy ennyien itt vagytok velünk lélekbe. Holnap pedig verseny, akkor jön a neheze. Az kemény lesz, úgyhogy majd látjuk, hogy mi lesz, de most egyelőre hazamegyünk a szállásra, és alszunk egy jót, mielőtt elkezdődnek a csaták.
But it's enough to you know, warm our hearts. And we move on to one man that's been looking at that exit of Peter Wiańczek in the top 32 and saying, hold on a minute, and that's Jack Shanahan. Yeah. And that's Kevin Piskolty.
But he's going up a steely competitor. And look at the way the bracket is sitting. Piskolty leads out Shanahan for the first half of the run.
Higher qualifier.
Piskolty is a higher qualifier. Piskolty has been growing. We keep saying it. We keep mentioning this growth, this earning of this championship. Piskolty's been on fire this weekend. He's looking strong. But Jack Shanahan yesterday said he wasn't in the right mindset. Is he in it today? They fire in. Piskolty absolutely ripping as he starts to cloud Jack Shanahan in that tyre smoke. They come round to that outside zone, and Piskolty is absolutely dark. But Shanahan's still with him. Onto the door he goes. They come down in front of the grandstand. They look for the transition. Shanahan not letting Piskolty get away as he shallows off the angle, makes a little dive, looks to tuck that GT6 up onto the door of the BMW. Piskolty goes for the wall, but Shanahan's on him.
Nice chase run from Jack Shanahan, but Kevin Piskolty's lead run was exceptional. Gave Shanahan everything to work with there from start to finish, and after so many sketchy runs in that top 32, we see two guys go out and manhandle that track, show that it works, show that it can be done in the right way. Kevin Piskolty, every round for me, is growing in stature. He's putting fear into some of the biggest names in the game, and do you know what? I was just thinking through that run, is today the day that the tide turns, that our predictable top 10 becomes an unpredictable top 50, because anybody can win it. Because right now Kevin Piskolty has matched Jack Shanahan move for move on the first half of this battle and done a great job. And Jack Shanahan would have been expecting maybe a wobble here or there, maybe a mistake for Piskolty, but the Piskolty of old maybe, not the Piskolty of new. He is not making errors. The Heinehens, the Piskoltys, these guys are starting to grow as competitors in this championship. Although you've got to give it to Jack Shanahan, he does nothing wrong on that run. He puts it to the door where he needs to, and he's very much still in this fight. For me, Shanahan maybe taking a small advantage at the end just for the proximity, but Piskolty very much in the fight.
He certainly is very much in the fight. He falls back to the start line, and he's on the radio to the spotters, asking them what he can do. Where was Shanahan? Where was he positioned? What can Piskolty do to get this one done in the bag and move forward into top 16 and dispatch Jack Shanahan from this top 32?
And I mean, that's possible, because everything is possible in Drift Masters, because we've learned that today. And Piskolty's not going to be afraid of Shanahan here. He is not going to be thinking, oh, this is the guy that always finishes at the podium. He's the winner from last year. He's the top 3 in the championship. Piskolty wants to be where Jack Shanahan was and is, and this is the time to prove it. Top 32. There is no walkovers here in Drift Masters. There is no formalities. There is just war on circuit, and you're about to see another go to battle. It is Jack Shanahan in the lead position. He is a bit off form this weekend, but watch him in the battles. He starts to grow as the competition grows, and he's got to put on an exceptional lead run, and Piskolty's got to go for it here.
He certainly has got to go for it. He looks like he is going to go for it. He initiates wider and faster than Shanahan. Shanahan opens up the throttle, tries to drive away. Piskolty shallows up the angle and keeps him within reach, though, as Shanahan goes for that wide line. They come down the hill, and Piskolty matching everything that Shanahan did in his chase right now. They work their way in front of the grandstand. Shanahan starts to drive away. Piskolty shortcuts the circuit, looks for the dive, positions himself perfectly. Can he get into the outside zone, or will he shortcut? He shortcuts it, but he makes it work as he goes door to door across the line.
You know, I think for me, and this is just from an analytical point of view, it was the first corner. I think Piskolty drops off the track before initiation, losing him that ground. And I've got to say, when the pressure was on Jack Shanahan, he performed. He came out there and did exactly what you expected him to do and put on a phenomenal lead run. Piskolty, he had moments here, but not the same amount of moments that Shanahan had, and he had to cut the track considerably to stay with Shanahan. I think it came down to that first corner. He just lost pace on Shanahan. He had to start getting a little scrambly through the middle, trying to cut the corners. And Shanahan, you know, as we said, he wasn't feeling comfortable, but look at the line from Shanahan compared to some of the other drivers on this track. He may have not shown it in qualifying, but as we come to the battles, when it really matters for championship points, it looks like Jack Shanahan's got his act together very quickly here in the top 32. And to be honest, Piskolty, nothing too bad in either run. Nothing amazing, I think, for maybe either driver in both runs, but just looking at both runs, the proximity did seem to be a little bit more exciting from Shanahan in certain areas of the track. That's all I can pick apart, don't get me wrong, phenomenal from both, but look at Piskolty cutting the track a little bit on the inside, a little shallow to make up those lines. We didn't see those errors from Shanahan in his chase run. That to me might be the deciding factor in this one.
I think you're right there, Dave, and I'm inclined to agree. I think that Shanahan's lead was maybe a little bit better, and the chase positioning from Shanahan, where he positioned that car, being out of those zones for Piskolty, was probably the nail in the coffin. Look, we wait for the decision to drop in. We're not the judges, and here we go. It is going to drop in. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? And we have got 2 votes for Jack Shanahan. He gets the win, advances through to the top 16. Piskolty dispatched, but never take your eye off that man, because he is doing big moves.
Yeah, for sure, and he went up against a very top competitor.